Well, it's Sunday the 25th of June, and this is episode 2321 of 301 Pemberley News.online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited by me, at the JMO. Alright then, the next block of 10 begins. This is Season 9, Episode 1. To be honest, some of the episodes so far this year, especially in the last season, were a bit of a struggle to get out the door. For some reason, I found myself being picky or critical about the things that I wanted to make and put out into the world. Right now, sitting at the top of my script document, are 11 abandoned scripts at various stages of completion. This isn't bad per se, but I do find it annoying. Throwing away a script and starting again is a big time sink, especially if you make the quality control decision to pull the plug on a Saturday morning right before you start recording. 21 published episodes plus additional 11 unused ones means I've put in 1.5 times more effort into making 301 this year than I needed to otherwise. A literal experience of the definition, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I was thinking about all this extra effort I've put in the other day when I was out for a walk. I say extra effort rather than wasted effort, as in my opinion, that any creative expression is better than no creative expression. It's all part of the process. Part of the practice of making art. Thinking about the reasons why I set aside some of those episodes that didn't become podcasts is because I think at the time I felt I didn't love them enough. What it means to love an idea is tricky to express and outside the scope of this episode though. But I was thinking about the experience of making the first 100 episodes of the show, back when I was making them in 1 hour from start to finish. How stressful yet creatively fulfilling that was. Whatever got made. And whatever did get made was always as a rough draft. As I grew into what I was doing, so did the show's audience, wanting to explore more of what was possible. I relaxed the 1 hour rule. The things I make now, I think, are better than they were, but they aren't perfect and nor do they need to be. What matters is that the doing gets done. Now this isn't to say that I don't want to make the best thing that I possibly can each week and put it on the internet, but why didn't I put some of those abandoned episodes on the internet? Rereading the scripts this morning with fresher eyes, you know what? They're fine. One of them, a passionate defense of 2000s era nu metal fans and the neckbeard archetype, actually made me laugh out loud. I love that idea. What an absurd thing to argue. What many of the abandoned scripts have in common is that they very clearly contain my own personal voice. Setting them aside because I felt I didn't love them suggests there was something that I didn't love about having a strong voice present in my work. What made me uncomfortable? What stopped me from making them? I think, was second-guessing myself. And that has been an important creative insight. So the question is, what now? After 9 seasons, 230-something episodes, I have, in my opinion, figured out how to do the 5-minute weekly audio essay. And maybe, creatively, that's getting a little stale. Perhaps that's another reason that episodes were hard to get over the line. I know how to do this now. The video version has kept the production side of the show interesting, but that's reached its limit. It's not going to get any better than it is already without diminishing returns on effort and time investment. So maybe not embracing a strong voice in the show does both you and I a disservice. At the beginning of the year in episode 2306, I said I wanted to use 1 episode of each season to experiment with, but so far this year, I've failed to even do that. Good intentions, roads, hell and all that. So it's not that I wasn't in love with the episodes I didn't make, but the fear of finding out what would happen if I did. You know what idea I do love though? The idea of permanently moved as a whole. This personal podcast, 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited by me. It's not the individual episodes that I need to be in love with at all, but the wider concept. And I am. I shouldn't be too invested in each weekly episode, but the wider tone and vibe of the show. All 250,000+ words and 19 hours of it. The weekly shows that get made in and of themselves are less important than the big idea. Pulling back from things that contain a strong voice and not engaging in experimentation despite my best intentions and desire to do so is the answer to why I found it hard to get some episodes over the line this year. Plus, I must acknowledge that doing anything for long enough builds the desire for change, even if the thing you are doing is creatively fulfilling. But a failed experiment here, a voiceful episode there, won't impact the whole point of doing all of this, the wider project, a personal podcast, written, recorded and edited by me, every week.